Hey guys, welcome back to the Lawrence Life. I am talking right now about how to graduate homeschool kids from high school. And we are actually doing that for the first time this year. And we, as typical Lawrence fashion, we are not doing one student at a time. We are actually graduating 3 students this year. So we just kind of like to do everything a little bit different, I guess, a little bit over the top. And so we are graduating our 3 oldest kids from high school this year. They've actually already graduated, so that's what prompted me to make this video to talk about how we did that. Last night, Chris and I were finishing up their high school transcripts. Whew, okay, that was that was a job, and Chris did all the administrative work. I had it prepared for him, but he's gifted in that area, so he did all the administrative work, and we finished it. Yay! We finished it last night. So I wanted to talk about that. Our kids have always been homeschooled, and I'm going to talk in other videos about why we chose to homeschool and how we homeschool and things like that. But this video is just about graduating homeschool kids from high school. And depending on what state you're in, you need to find out what the requirements are for homeschool. We have lived in Texas, and we lived in California for a very short time, so I didn't even have to register my kids as homeschool students. And then Puerto Rico for a little while, and we are in Utah now. And Texas and Utah are both very supportive states for homeschool, and I've talked to other homeschool moms that have more trouble in other states. So first, number 1, find out what your state expects, what your state requires for you to homeschool, and then for you to graduate a homeschool high schooler. For us, I went on when we were first starting our 3 oldest in high school, I went online and found out what the state of Utah requires for a high school student to graduate. So I knew what was expected. And also when we started them in high school, a friend of mine introduced me to a program called Time for Learning. And so I signed up for that, and you pay monthly, and it's a curriculum. And so my 3 oldest kids have been doing Time for Learning all through high school. And the awesome thing about Time for Learning is that it has all of their curriculum online, and they log into their portal, and it has their classes, it has their quizzes, it has their tests, and then when they take their test, it records their grades. So all we had to do when we were doing their transcripts last night, which we've done this each year, but since we were closing out their accounts, we wanted to make sure we had every record that we might want to save. We went on to Time for Learning and created reports to get their grades for their transcripts, and then we filled out a transcript online. So that's been a benefit with Time for Learning, is that they record everything. That's been really nice for me because I am not administratively gifted, and I could do it, but I didn't want to. And so Time for Learning did that for me. Now my dad, I've mentioned on other videos, my dad has been tutoring my 3 oldest since they started high school in math. So they did everything on Time for Learning except for math, and then we also gave them extra things to do. They have to read books that we assign them, and then they have to write reports and give speeches to the family and things like that. So we do a combination of things, but the majority of their credits were earned on Time for Learning, and then of course they got their math credit by doing the required math with my dad. And he kept track of their math grades. So I've been really blessed that I've had the help that I need and the curriculum that I need when I need it, because with high school, you definitely want to keep track of grades and keep track of what the students are doing, because you do have to record that and have a transcript for you to graduate your homeschool child from high school. So we got all of their grades together last night, and for their last year, and completed their transcript, so it's all done. Then for their diploma, that was super easy. I went online, I put in what I wanted in a formal diploma, had it printed out paid for the professional looking envelope and had it mailed to me. I also did graduation caps and gowns because I just want them to have the full experience, and we've done pictures. I did a video about our graduation senior pictures. I'm going to be doing another video about how to throw a graduation/graduation party from home, because that's what we're doing at our house. So I will video that and talk about how to do that. So we have their diplomas, we finished their transcripts, we have their cap and gowns, and then they've completed all their credits. Now, one thing I'll say about our 3 high school students, you may be thinking, how in the world are you graduating 3 kids at the same time? So this is how it's broken down. Our oldest are twins, so they're 17 and a half, and so of course they're in the same grade. And then our daughter, who is 15 and a half, when she was in about 3rd grade, she was clearly bored with what she was doing and excelling, and I was, tossing around or balancing around homeschooling kids in different grades. And so what I did was I just bumped her up to the boys' grade, the twins' grade, which was 5th grade at the time, in every subject that I could. So she started doing 5th grade math, 5th grade English, 5th grade science, 5th grade history, everything. And I just thought, I'm going to do this as long as I can, and as long as she is still flourishing and accelerating and learning and doing great. And she just kept doing it. Every year she was able to progress to the next grade with them. So that's how that happened in our house, that we have 3 kids in the same grade. And they actually all completed high school in 3 years instead of 4, because when I looked at the requirements for Utah, where we live, they were going to be 1 credit short. After their junior year, they were going to have 1 English credit left. And I just talked to them and said, guys, I don't see why you would want to go a whole year for 1 English credit. So they worked really hard and completed that additional English credit in their senior year, along with their junior year English credit. So that's how they graduated in 3 years instead of 4. And that's how we're graduating 3 students at once. And I think I've covered everything that you would need to know to graduate a high school student from homeschool. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. And we are super excited. I'm graduating half of my class. We are done having kids. We have 6 kids, and I'm graduating 3 of them this year. They are all 3 going to school in the fall. Cameron and Caleb are going in person to the school of their choice in California, and Alexis is actually going to the same school, but she is going virtually. So she will be doing the classes online because she's 15 years old, and we're not ready to send our 15-year-old to California to live by herself. So that's what their plans are, and we're super excited, and that's how we're graduating 3 kids from high school homeschool.